Hello from the Alameda County Law Library. Today we're going to give an introduction to how to use the Westlaw Legal Research Platform. Westlaw is a very flexible program with multiple ways of searching and multiple possible starting points. Before we start, there are a few parts of the Westlaw home screen to note: the search bar, the jurisdiction settings, and the browse container and its tabs. Legal materials are generally organized by jurisdictions, such as federal jurisdiction or state jurisdictions. To have Westlaw search in California or other states' legal materials, first we need to make sure California or the other states are included in the jurisdictions Westlaw is searching. One way of doing this is to click on the rectangular jurisdiction box between the search box and the magnifying glass to the right of the search box at the top of the screen. A jurisdiction selector window will appear. You will see that there are check boxes for selecting all federal or specific federal jurisdictions and for selecting all states or specific state jurisdictions. If you select one or more states, you can also check the Include Related Federal checkbox to have Westlaw search federal materials that are related to those state materials. Note that you can only select up to 3 jurisdictions at a time. For now, I've selected the California state jurisdiction and I've checked the Include Related Federal checkbox to include related federal materials. Another way of setting the jurisdiction to California before searching is to click on the State Materials tab in the Browse section on the main Westlaw page and click on the California link. In the last section, I set the jurisdiction to California and related federal materials. Now if I run a search, it'll return results from all of the available California and related federal sources. Along the left side of the page, you'll see a list of categories of sources searched and the number of results found per source, such as 7,639 results found for cases. If you scroll down the page, you'll see snippets of the search results per category and links to view all of the results per category. There are several ways to choose sources before and after you run a search in Westlaw. One way is to click on the link corresponding to a source category in the All Content tab of the Browse section on the main Westlaw page. For example, if you want to search just in secondary sources, you can click on the Secondary Sources link. You can also choose a source by clicking on the Federal Materials tab or the State Materials tab, choosing a jurisdiction, and then selecting a category of sources from the page that appears. And once you've selected a category of sources, you can drill down into specific titles. To search in Westlaw, enter your search terms in the search bar and press the Enter button or the magnifying glass button. Westlaw has an auto-suggest feature. In some instances, as you type, Westlaw will display links to suggested results under the search bar. For example, if you start typing the terms Black's Law Dictionary, a link to the source appears, and you can click on it to access the dictionary. Another example is if you start typing in a case name, such as Brown versus Board of Education, suggested links will appear, and you can click on them to access the documents. Another way to search in Westlaw is to use citations. If the citation is formatted correctly, you may be able to enter the citation, hit the search button, and be navigated directly to the document. In some instances, you'll be presented with a list of search results and will need to determine if any of them are the statute you're looking for. You can enter plain English words and phrases like you would typically do with a search engine like Google, which is called a natural language search. For example, you can type in the words divorce settlement and click on the search button, and Westlaw will return results that it thinks are relevant. The search term you entered will be highlighted in yellow in the search results and in the documents. You can use Boolean terms and connectors to create more specific and targeted searches than you can with natural language search. One useful type of term and connector search is phrase searching. If we search for the terms divorce settlement in a natural language search, notice that the terms divorce and settlement can appear in separate locations in the results. If you want to search for the exact phrase divorce settlement with the two terms in that order, type them in quotation marks. Now when you look at the search results, you'll see that the exact phrase as you typed it, divorce settlement, is being highlighted in yellow in the documents. Another type of useful Boolean and connector search is proximity searching. To specify the distance between two terms you want to search in a document, type a / followed by the maximum number of terms that can be in between the two terms. So to find documents with the term divorce within 3 terms of the term settlement, you would type divorce /3 settlement. When you look at the search results, notice that the term divorce and the term settlement can be in any order when you use a /. To make it so that divorce has to be before the term settlement, change the / to a plus sign. So here we're searching divorce +3 settlement. To make it so that divorce is in the same sentence as settlement in any order, use /s. To search for the term divorce before the term settlement and within 1 sentence distance of settlement, change the / and use a plus sign instead. So divorce + settlement. To search the terms in any order within 1 paragraph, use /p, where p stands for paragraph. If you want divorce to come before the term settlement within 1 paragraph, change the / to a plus sign. So divorce + p settlement. Now divorce will come before the term settlement within 1 paragraph of each other. Another useful Boolean operator is called a root expander, which can be used to find variations of a term. If you type characters followed by an exclamation mark, the search will find documents with any words starting with the characters before the exclamation mark. So bank with the exclamation mark would match the words bank, banking, bankruptcy, etc. Universal characters will search documents for variations in any single character position. Insert an asterisk where you want a universal character to be searched. For example, to find spellings of the word gray as either GRAY or GREY, type GR*y. Now Westlaw will return results with GR, then any character, such as A or E, followed by a Y. Put an and between search terms to require that results need to have both terms. So if you put dog and cat, documents will need to have both terms dog and cat. If you put an or between search terms, a document can have either dog or cat or both. If you just leave a space between search terms like dog space cat, that may be treated as an or. So documents returned may have either dog or cat or both in the document. Because of the way Westlaw sometimes treats spaces in search queries as or, you may want to type the word or and use parentheses to group your search terms to make your search queries more easily understandable. For example, in the first search here, security within 3 terms guard space system, It may be unclear to most people whether Westlaw will return documents with the term security within 3 terms of either the term guard or the term system or both, or whether it will return documents with security within 3 terms of the term guard or just the term system or both. To make it clearer, you can use or in parentheses. So in the second search query here, it's more clear. Security within 3 terms of parentheses guard or system. So this will return documents that has security within 3 search terms of guard or security within 3 search terms of system or both. And in the third search query, parentheses security within 3 search terms guard parentheses or system, this will return documents that have security within 3 search terms of guard or documents with just the term system or both. Another useful Boolean connector in Westlaw is the not connector. The not connector can be used to find only documents which do not contain the specified search terms. For example, if you search for the term dog, there are results which contain the term owner. If you want to exclude search results which contain the term owner, just type a percentage symbol, which is the not connector, and type any terms that you want to exclude after the not connector. And you should always put the not connector at the very end of your search query. So say you wanted to exclude the term owner, maybe variations of the term owner, and say the word, you also want to exclude the word big. So I'm going to also add big after this not connector. Now when we do our search, when we look through, the documents should not have the term owner and the documents should not have the term big. So let's try that out. So now when we've done our search, excluding variations of owner and big, the results will return will only contain documents that do not have variations of owner and won't have the word big. Once you've run a Boolean terms and connector search, Westlaw will place the word advanced with a colon after it, or the abbreviation ADV with a colon after it in the search bar before your query. So just as an example, when I run this Boolean terms and connectors search, you can see that Westlaw has inserted this abbreviation ADV with a colon to indicate that this is a terms and connector search and not a natural language search. To help with Boolean terms and connector searching, you can use Westlaw's advanced search templates. To access them, click on the Advanced link in the top right-hand corner of the screen. So this is what an advanced search template looks like. They have different fields and features depending on the sources or the content you selected. I didn't select any sources to search, so this is the all content advanced search template. There's a list of various connectors and expanders here. It's sort of a little cheat sheet. You type search terms in any of these fields. This field is if you want to search all of the terms you put in. So say you put in security guard. It explains that it searches as an and, so it puts an and symbol here between the terms security and guard. The next field is if you want to search any of the terms, so it searches as an or. And as I mentioned earlier, in a terms and connectors search, a space is considered as an or by Westlaw. So it'll find documents that contain security or guard or both. The next one searches an exact phrase, so it puts quotation marks around it. This one is not. So let's see, say you want to find the exact phrase security guard, but documents that don't contain the term weapon. So you can see that it has created this search query for you. Just put weapon after the not symbol. Advanced search templates can especially be useful for document field searching, and there's a date drop down. It can be somewhat difficult to remember different fields you can search. This is a citation field, so if you're searching Brown v. Board of Education, it's going to use this sort of citation field operator here. So it's going to search on the citation field. Down here there's a name title field. Let's see, so if we do the same thing, it's just going to use this. And as I mentioned, depending on the sources you search, there are different document fields, and the advanced search template will look different. So for example, if we specify that we're going to search in cases, then when you go to the advanced search template, there will be a lot of different fields to search. This is very useful. So there's a field here for specifying the party name, citation. These are all different things you can search on. Like if you know the name of an attorney, you can search for cases by attorney, and you can combine all these. One way to view an explanation of the different document fields that are available per document type, for example, this is an advanced search template for cases, is to click on this image. You can open the PDF that it's linked to, and the PDF will have an explanation of the different parts of the document. So for cases, this is the citation that's searched by the citation document field, party name, docket number, synopsis, background, holding, head note, this whole section's a digest, panel, list of attorneys, etc. Let's look at the advanced search template for statutes. Once again, you can see there are different document fields you can search on. These are different from the case document fields. Once again, these are very useful. So advanced search templates are a quick way to build advanced search queries without having to remember all the various terms and connectors and different document fields that are available. I'm now going to go over navigating through search results and in documents. So say we haven't selected any specific source materials. Just for review, you can choose different source materials here, or you can go to a federal or state tab, select a jurisdiction, and from that page you can select specific source materials to search in. Here I'm just going to do a search without selecting any specific source materials. So as you can see, once I've run the search, on the left-hand side here, it shows different categories of source materials and how many search results were found in each one. So for this natural language search, unlawful detainer, Westlaw, and with the jurisdiction set to California, Westlaw's found 7,657 cases, etc. You can see that same numbers here. If I scroll down on this overview page, it'll give me examples of some of the search results found in each of these source categories. I can click on one of the results, or I can click on this view link next to the category type to view the results for that category. So here I've clicked on the cases link, and now I have these different pages filled with the different cases that match this search. Once you've run a search and have selected a source category, such as cases, there will be other options to filter your search results along the left-hand side of the page. For example, you can search within the results. So say you're looking for cases about unlawful detainer that include the text changing locks. So you could filter by, let's see, doing change within 3 of locks. Then once you do that search, you'll see that it filtered these. It used to be, I think, 7,600 or so cases. Now Westlaw is indicating that there are 154 cases for this jurisdiction, with the terms unlawful detainer that also include, variations of the term change within 3 terms of variations of the term lock. So your original terms unlawful detainer here are highlighted in yellow. The new terms that you're searching within the results are highlighted in purple. That's one way to filter. There will also be source-specific filters. Cases can be reported or unreported. You can, filter by that here. You can filter by topic, etc. Now I'm going to click into the secondary sources source category and describe other ways of navigating in documents. I'm going to click on the second search result found. You can see at the top of the document screen there are left and right arrows for navigating forward or backward through the documents in the search results list. Here it shows us that we're on document 2 out of 5,885 results found in secondary sources in California with the terms unlawful detainer. If you click left or right, it'll navigate us to the previous or next document. So if you click on the right arrow, it takes us to document 3 in the list. If you want to return to the list, click on this return to list link. If you click on this magnifying glass icon, that's for searching text within the document. So as you can see, our original search terms, unlawful detainer, are highlighted in yellow. We can search in the document. So let's say we wanted to find instances of the term judicial. Type that in, click search. The terms that you search will be in a different color. You can press these left and right arrows to navigate to each new instance of that term. So it'll take us to the next instance of judicial. The section where it says original terms, this allows you to use these left and right arrows to find instances of those search terms. If we return to list and then do a search within results, let's see. As I showed you earlier, that will filter the results with the text you just searched. Now that you've run a search within the results, in addition to your original search terms, this term navigation section here currently is set to all terms. So when you click on this right arrow, it'll navigate to any instances of any of your search terms, so the unlawful detainer as well as the change locks. If you can toggle them by selecting the search term. So if you click on here, it's just gonna, clicking on the left and right buttons is only going to navigate you to instances of your original search terms, which are unlawful detainer. If you click on this, these left and right arrows will only navigate to instances of these search terms, and once again you can switch back to all terms. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see a partial table of contents. This one includes information on the chapter that this document's located in. You can click any of these links to get to different parts of the publication. To view a full table of contents, click this View Full TOC link. This will show sort of this document you're looking at in context of the chapter it's in and the other chapters in the publication. You can collapse and uncollapse these different sections of the table of contents to get to different parts of the publication. At the top of the screen here, these are section navigation arrows. So besides navigating using the table of contents, you can navigate forwards and backwards in the publication through the sections by clicking the left arrow for a previous section, the right arrow for the next section. Another way of navigating through a document is clicking on reading mode. In reading mode, you can scroll up or down to get to different sections of the publication. In this way, you don't have to click on an arrow each time or click on a table of content link. You just keep scrolling and new sections appear as you scroll down the page. So that's a kind of easier way to kind of flip through a publication without having to constantly click on the different arrows. Another feature is this full screen mode. If you click on that, you get a larger view of a document. You can click on this delivery menu arrow to select to email a document to yourself, print, or download. Another handy way, and so this will email, print, or download just the section you're currently in. If you go to the full table of contents link, you can use these checkboxes to, for example, you can check the checkboxes for different groupings of content that you then want to download, print, or email to yourself. For example, if I want to download, I can select a grouping of documents, hit the download button. I can choose to have it download as a single merge file or multiple files, and that just depends on your preference. And you can choose between different formats. If you want just an outline, like a table of contents, instead of actually downloading all of the documents, select that and then hit the download button. To download, you do similar things with the print and email. So for example, the email, you enter your email address, you can put an optional note. Once again, you can select the outline or the full documents, different formats, and whether you want to email them to yourself as a single merge file or multiple files in a zip file. Secondary sources are research materials that give helpful overviews and expert analysis of legal research topics. It can be helpful to look in secondary sources such as treatises, practice guides, and law journals at the beginning of your research process. There are several ways to search secondary sources in Westlaw. One way is to do a search in all content, and then when the search results appear, you can filter here on the left by secondary sources. Another way is to click on the secondary sources link here in the all content tab, or to go to state materials and select your jurisdiction, and then select the secondary sources link. From the all content tab, There's listings of secondary sources by type, by state, by topic, publication series. So I'm going to go to California. On the California secondary sources page, there's sections for texts and treatises, law reviews and journals, forms, jury instructions, newsletters, and key rules. I'm going to click on this All California Texts and Treatises link. So you'll get a list of the different California-specific texts and treatises available. Some of these links are to groupings of materials, so like the Rudder Group Practice Guides and Other Publications, and Witkin's California Materials. These are popular treatises. So here's a listing of a bunch of the Rudder Group materials available. And here's a listing of the Witkin's materials available. Now I'm going to do a search within all of the California secondary sources. So for the natural language search unlawful detainer, it's come up with 5,544 search results. You can, even though we're in California secondary sources, you can still filter more by jurisdiction. You can filter by date, publication type, publication name, CCH document type, by form type. So let's see, publication types. Click on that link to see a full listing. For publication names, you can click on this link and there's a list of different titles available. You can click on them to select specific ones. Like if you only want to search in specific titles, you can check the ones you want to search here and then click the filter button, or if not, you can cancel. Now I'm going to show you how to look up forms. So say you wanted California unlawful detainer forms. Even though we're in the California secondary sources, in the jurisdiction section you can see that Westlaw's returned many national, federal, and other state and international results. So if you just want California specific materials, you can click California here. And to filter the results by forms, you can scroll down to here and select form type checkboxes. Usually when you click any of these checkboxes, it'll immediately filter. So if you want to click multiple ones, it's good to select this Select Multiple Filters button. Then you can check all the checkboxes you want, and when you're ready to filter, click Apply Filters. So now you can see that there are 321 results for California jurisdiction and forms. You can see in these results that these are different unlawful detainer related forms. So I'm going to click into some of these and look at the results. Sometimes the forms are in the form of PDF files, so you can click the links and view the forms. Other times the forms are in Word format. This one's PDF. Let's try to find one with in Word format. So this one has a Word format, as I mentioned. Click on the Easy Edit link. Click the download button and open the file. And you'll get an easily editable Word formatted version of the form. So you can make any of the changes you want in this document. Now another way to find forms is to go to California jurisdiction link, and on this content page you can scroll down to where it says Forms, California Form Finder, and you'll have links to forms by topic, forms by publication, and then any search you run here will search within the California Form Finder view. So once again, let's look up unlawful detainer. And once again, even though it's the California Form Finder, you can filter further by jurisdiction, and there's all these other filters, including by topic or practice area. And here I want to show you once again that for many secondary sources you can click this reading mode button. And in reading mode, instead of having to click arrows to navigate page by page through sections of a secondary source, in reading mode you can keep scrolling, and the next or previous sections will just appear at the bottom of the page as you scroll, which can be convenient for flipping through a secondary source as if you were flipping through a book. Now I'm going to go over searching statutes and court rules in Westlaw. So one way to get there is to click on the Statutes and Court Rules link in this All Content tab, or to go to State Materials and select your jurisdiction. You can either do a search here and filter for Statutes and Court Rules, or click on the Statutes and Court Rules link. On this page it lists the different materials available. I'm going to do a search for unlawful business practices. Once again, there's auto suggestions down here. So this is the results page. It's returned 1,050 results. You can filter by type, date, different types of forms. So I'm going to click into this first statute here. So here's how a statute is typically displayed in Westlaw. If you remember from the section on advanced search, if you click on the advanced search link and then click on this image, you can open a PDF that will display how Westlaw labels the various parts of a statute. And you can search on these different fields using either Boolean operators, or you can search on the fields in the advanced search interface. So this is how statutes are typically displayed in Westlaw. If you scroll down, there'll be a lot of useful information, and this information is also organized in different tabs across the top of the document. You can hover over most of these tabs to get an overview of the contents. So if you click on the Notes of Decision tab, these notes of decisions are sort of summaries of how the statute has been treated by different cases. You can do a text search in here. You can scroll down and look at the descriptions of the different notes of decisions. For example, if you're interested in the elements of an unfair business practice claim, you can click on the link and Westlaw will navigate you to section of the notes of decisions where they discuss elements of the claim. And then, so here are the notes, and you can click into the case that the note of decision is based on. The History tab has legislative history information for the statute. Citing references lists different materials that cite to the statute. And you can click any of these links to go to a listing filtered by that source category, such as, these are a listing of cases that cite to it, secondary sources, etc. Context and analysis lists different materials that give context and analysis, like legal encyclopedias and other secondary sources. So if you go to that page, you can filter by hovering over here or here. You can scroll through the whole list, or like if you want to see forms, you could click on the forms link. When searching in primary sources of law like statutes and case law, researchers often use what are called citators to try to determine subsequent treatment of the law, such as if a statute or case has been modified or overruled, for example, by subsequent new legislation or case law. Westlaw's citator is called KeyCite. For statutes, Westlaw displays colored KeyCite flags in search results and at the top of documents to indicate subsequent legal treatment. So here's a red flag, and if you hover over the red KeyCite flag, it says severe negative treatment, and then down here has a label that this statute is unconstitutional or preempted, recognized as preempted, and then has a link to the case that recognizes that this statute has been preempted. Let's see another example. For this statute, there's a red flag because there's been legislation enacted that affects this, and you can click on the link to the legislation to see how it has been affected. So for example, this is section 17204. This explains that additions are indicated by text highlighted in blue and stricken materials blue highlighted text with a strike through. So you can see here that this blue language has been added by this legislation. Let's look at another one. Here's another one that's been labeled unconstitutional or preempted. And if you click on the flag, you'll see another view that lists materials that have affected the validity of the statute. Next, we're going to look at searching cases in Westlaw. There are a number of ways to search for cases. You can start just typing in the name of a case. Sometimes there'll be an auto-suggest link. You can type in a citation, or you can also just type in search terms. Oops. Right now I'm searching in California state and federal cases. Here are the results for the search terms. Natural language search term for unlawful detainer. You can filter by jurisdiction, date, whether the case is reported or unreported, topic, etc. I'm going to do a search within results. Say that you're interested in the concepts of waste or unlawful purpose in unlawful detainer cases. So this search will search for waste or unlawful purpose within one paragraph's distance of the terms unlawful detainer. So it's filtered down to 85 cases that are based on the search term unlawful detainer and have the phrase unlawful detainer within a paragraph of either waste or unlawful purpose. So I'm going to click into a case. As with statutes, there are these key cite flags which tell you if there's been any negative treatment or severe negative treatment of a case. You can view that by clicking on the flag, going to this negative treatment tab, and it links to the case that has affected the current case. Also it has citing references. You can click on any of these to view these different categories of materials that have cited to this case. There's a table of authorities, and this is a list of the different materials that this case cites to. One thing in cases that doesn't appear in the statutes are headnotes. So headnotes are where West editors kind of pick out points of law that they think are important in the case. They sort of summarize it in these headnotes. So there are 5 headnotes, and if you click on any of these headnote numbers, it'll take you to where that headnote appears in the actual case. These headnotes also have links where if one of these headnotes in this case is cited in another case, you can click on that link and it'll give you a list of the cases that cite to that headnote. Another feature is the West key number system. Westlaw editors classify cases and indexes by key number. As you can see, there's a heading for landlord and tenant, and that's West key 233, and then there's sort of subheadings, subclassifications for more specific categories. So, for example, if you're interested in landlord and tenant law, unlawful detainer, if you're interested in, say, grounds of action, you can click on that key number and it'll take you to a page that displays different cases and their headnotes that are classified under grounds of action. And then you can click on the links to any of these cases. So if you're interested in going up a few levels to see all the cases that are classified under the key number for unlawful detainer, you can just click on that. This will take you up a few levels. You can click on this West key number system link to see all of the key number categories. For example, landlord and tenant is key number 233. You can click on any of these to see all of the other categories. If you click on one, you'll see the full listing of these different subkeys. You can click on any of these headings, key numbers, or subheadings to view the key numbers listed at different levels of the West key number system. So for unlawful detainer, that's listed under reentry and recovery of possession by landlord in this subheading. So you could click on that. Or we could click on the main heading here and see all the key numbers listed under it. You can do searches. This search will search all the head notes that are categorized under this heading. So say you want to search grounds, and these are the search results returned. And different groupings of these search results will kind of have this little tree to show you where the cases under it fall in the key number hierarchy. So that's another way to search for cases. You can get to the key number system also from this main Westlaw page by clicking on the Topics and Key Numbers link there. One other thing we'll look at in Westlaw is how to find help and support. One way to do that is to hover over this profile link and click on the Training and Support link. That link is also located at the bottom of the page. When you click on that, you'll be taken to a training and support page with a lot of links to different training resources. So on this training and resources page, here's a category for support and training on case law research, statutory research, regulatory research, verifying citations with the key cite citator, finding secondary sources. And when you click on the different links, sometimes there'll be videos you can watch, different sections, as well as PDFs and other information. That's the end of our Introduction to Legal Research with Westlaw presentation from the Alameda County Law Library. Visit our website for more information on the services we provide, including document delivery and continuing legal education, events, and programs.